So you decided it was time to lose a little weight, and at first everything is going just fine, but after a while, even though you're doing the same thing as before, your results completely stop. Why is this? Think of it as a survival instinct. If you were in the early days where food was scarce and your metabolism didn't slow down when you lost weight, if you went a while without food, you'd starve to death pretty fast. However, nowadays food is plentiful, but your body still has one goal in mind: survival. So if you want the best results possible, you need to convince your body to stop fighting fat loss so harshly. And how do you do this? My guy Paul Ravella actually made a great post about this on Instagram recently, where he said the greatest tool for fat loss is maintenance. And you may be thinking, what are you even talking about? I'm not trying to maintain my weight, I'm trying to lose weight. And I get that, but it's through periods of maintenance that keeps your metabolism from slowing down as much, gets your body to stop fighting fat loss so harshly, and this is what gets you the best results. So you have to be patient and understand the more you try to rush things, the more your body's gonna fight you and the worse your results are gonna end up being. Now, how you're gonna do this is you're gonna go through periods of what's called a diet break. Now, don't let the name diet break fool you. This doesn't mean you can just eat whatever you want in whatever quantities you want. It still needs to be controlled. It's just now you're gonna bring your calories up some and eat around maintenance. So typically you're gonna bring your calories up maybe around 300 to 500 per day for the week. I also usually like to drop your total cardio in about half as well. And you're gonna do this for at least 1 week, preferably 2. I'll explain why in a little bit. But as far as when to take them, this is where I've evolved quite a bit as a coach, in my opinion, with this over the last almost decade now. I used to feel like just go until you started seeing a lot of the signs of dieting start to take its toll. Feeling more run down and fatigued, becoming a lot more hungry and food focused and overly agitated, and just basically feel like crap. Then you take the diet break, which will help you feel better, and then make that next push. I don't like to do that anymore. I would prefer to take them more frequently and take them before you get to that phase. And I find that this not only helps keep you in a better spot, so the process keeps working better for longer and you don't have to make as many calorie drops. So it kind of depends, but I usually say around every 4 to 6 weeks or so is usually a good time to take a diet break, but it can be longer, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose. In that case, if you have like 100 pounds to lose or whatever, you could go every 8 to 10 weeks. But honestly, the more frequently you take them, the better it's going to keep your metabolism from adapting as much. And this is also why I like 2-week diet breaks over just one. I have just found over the course of the years with clients that they tend to respond way better coming back from a 2-week break versus a 1-week break. And this is actually kind of supported by science. There's been a couple different studies that looked at only taking 1-week break, and they didn't really show benefits in metabolism from just the 1-week break. Now, there were other benefits like being less hungry and things like that. I'll touch on that in a minute. But the Matador study was a study where they took 2-week diet breaks followed by 2 weeks of cutting phases. So it was 16 weeks of total dieting, and they compared that to 16 weeks of continuous dieting. And the 2-week diet break group lost 47% more body fat, kept more of their muscle, and possibly even more importantly, they saw less body weight regain post-diet. And that's not to be understated, because you probably know how hard it is to keep weight off after losing it. And part of that, I feel like, is because most people diet aggressively, never take breaks, and just run themselves into the ground. So then when it's done, not only do you feel like crap, but you're overly hungry and you're just over it and you overshoot. Whereas if you keep yourself in a better spot, it's easier to make that transition. So you have to give your body a reason to stop fighting you so hard. And it's pretty clear that keeping your metabolism in a good place is extremely important, but it's not only about diet breaks. So what I want you to do next is check out this top video up here, and I'll cover 5 things you may be doing that's hurting your metabolism. So make sure you check that out next. Keep your metabolism humming along and finally get where you want to be.